The 12th of August 2020 was awash with Liverpool fans frantically checking mobile tablets and devices in order to get a glimpse of new signing Kostas Tsimikas, who had just completed his £11.75 million transfer from Olympiacos. What they got instead was a pleasant surprise, as not only did they get a glimpse of Tsimikas, they also got Jurgen Klopp providing him a very warm welcome to Anfield. Over the next few days, Google Trends confirmed the frantic search about everything to do with Tsimikas. This is a story of how Liverpool found perfect player Tsimikas 3 years before signing him. Liverpool's new Greek international, Kostas Tsimikas, could make his debut in the Community Shield, but he's already well acquainted with the former Red midfielder, Pedro Chirivella. Without Chirivella, there might have been no Kostas signing. You see, they might not be one of Dutch football's traditional powerhouses, but Willem II certainly know how to develop players. They had Mark Overmars there once upon a time, and Jaap Stam too. In actual fact, Frankie de Jong made his professional debut there as a 17-year-old, while Moussa Dembele spent a season there as a fleet-footed teenager. The great Virgil van Dijk was actually on the club's books as a youngster, while another great you might know is Sami Hyypiä, who spent 4 years there before moving over to Liverpool in the late 90s. It was at Willem II where Kostas Tsimikas first came to Liverpool's attention. Tsimikas spent the 17-18 campaign on loan with the Eredivisie club, making 33 appearances in total, and his performances were noted by Liverpool's scouting team, who were actually monitoring the progress of loanee Pedro Chirivella. He was raw for sure, but he was all action and a threat from left back and an improving defensive presence. You could see from day one he had a lot of talent, especially going forward, Chirivella said. Midfielder, he's a dream. He made it easy for me because he was always an outlet. But as the season went on, he got better and better defensively. He competed better, and for me, he is one of the best fullbacks in Holland that year, said Chirivella. And to be fair, the statistics certainly back up that point. Tsimikas finished the campaign, having more tackles and completed more dribbles than any defender in the Eredivisie. Chirivella recalls a goal, an overhead kick against Utrecht, and a star performance as Willem II won 5-0 against PSV side containing the likes of Steven Bergwijn, Marco van Ginkel and Luc de Jong. He was fantastic, he remembers. The harder the game, the better he performed. He always loved the big games. And off the pitch, Chirivella and Tsimikas became good friends, which they still remain till this very day. He loves coffee as I do, laughed Chirivella, and maybe that's why we became friends. Perhaps in Tsimikas, Liverpool might have just signed Mo Salah's new coffee body, given the exit of Dejan Lovren. Tsimikas then returned to Olympiacos in the summer of 2018, where under new coach Pedro Martin, he quickly established himself. And that August, Liverpool watched him in the Europa League qualifier against Burnley at Turf Moor, and he certainly impressed by the way he won his battle against Aaron Lennon. At this stage, detailed contact texts began into Tsimikas, and Liverpool also contacted his agent. Tsimikas started 13 league games in 18-19, but it was the following season that Tsimikas truly came to the fore. His performances, particularly in Europe, were of a consistently high standard, and by January 2020 he was very high on the list of Michael Edwards. Tsimikas impressed against Lucas Moura in the Champions League and Nicolas Pepe in the Europa League. When Olympiacos travelled to Wolves to play in the Europa League, he did a pretty excellent job and shot down Adama Traore. Both Nice and Napoli had bids rejected when they tried to take Tsimikas away from Olympiacos in the January transfer window, but it would be Liverpool in the summer window that will actually win the war and bring him in to provide competition for the brilliant Andy Robertson. Prior to this being concluded, Liverpool considered a few other options. There was that £10 million bid for Jamal Lewis that got knocked back, with Norwich City wanting 20 million plus. There was also Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth, but given how his representatives had perceived to act the previous summer, well, that was a non-starter. Also, Sergio Reunion, who just won the Europa League with Sevilla on loan from Real Madrid, was valued at £18 million. In the end though, Tsimikas was the deal that made the most sense. Despite late interest from both Leicester and Sevilla, negotiations were concluded pretty swiftly, and he signed a 5-year deal. And as we know, he could well be making his debut in the Community Shield. To give you an idea of the sort of player he is, when the same question was asked to Chirivella, he said, "He's a very offensive and aggressive player going forward. He likes to give goals, assists, which makes him the perfect player for Liverpool." Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. Like, share and comment. And as always, until next time.